So,
Logan. Which is heavily inspired by Old Man Logan from Mark Millar.
Except we don't get to see inbred Hulks.
We don't because, well, I mean, Marvel.
The only major issue I had watching this movie, first time around, was knowing how I felt it should have ended. Because it should, like, right from the beginning, I'm like, he has to die. The problem is I didn't want to see him die.
Yeah.
You know? I knew, it was like watching John Wick 3, where I'm like, the only way this ends is with John Wick dying. Like, really just dying. None of this, like, fake out. He's hiding off in the hills, like Dexter with a beard in Argentina. Mm-hmm. None of that shit. He's dead. It didn't make me want to watch that ending anymore because I was like, oh, okay, we're getting to the point where he's going to have to die. You know, obviously, John Wick 3, he doesn't die.
He doesn't. To be continued. He might die in number 4.
He has to. And that's the problem.
Whatever the last film ends up being.
That's right. Whatever the last film ends up being, whether it's 4 or 5, if it ends up being 5, whatever it is, he's got to die.
Yeah.
And that's the thing here. He had to die. And we all knew that he was going to die because Jackman said well, we didn't know he was going to die.
No,
Jackman said, I'm done with this
done.
role. I'm not doing it anymore. I feel like I'm too old to do the character justice. He's got a point. Even though he's aged impeccably, Wolverine is a character that ages even better than Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, the whole movie is this, like, building sense of dread because you're getting to the end of this character that we grew up with in comic books and then got to see...
Movies.
Cartoons. And then got to see live action and got to see the character be done with so much justice and reverence that it can't be anything other than heartbreaking to say goodbye to this character, right? Or this depiction of this character, I should say.
We're talking 17 years, man. That's almost half our lifetime we've watched Hugh Jackman.
It's
Wolverine.
barely just under half our lives, okay? And that's what I mean, like, we're, you know, and even for him to say, I'm too old to play this character, we probably could have got another movie out of him.
I think easily.
You know, like, I'm seeing him now, and but then again, I also take for granted that, okay, sure, I joke about him doing steroids to do this stuff. To be fair, I would too if I was him, okay? But the other part is that it's incredibly taxing on a body that's not getting any younger to just eat the diet that he's eating. Because this is the guy that, like, he called up Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for the Wolverine Origins and was like, hey, man, I want to get, like, fucking super ripped and strong.
Other way around. Hugh Jackman taught Dwayne Johnson.
Wait,
Because Dwayne Johnson did Faster and got ripped for that movie.
That's right.
And Hugh Jackman taught him.
That's right. I got it. But either way, this is a guy that's devoting a chunk of a year.
And he's got to stay in that shape because he's always going to play that character.
But that's just it. So, like, he'll have downtime.
Yeah.
But I think it's like 6 months of training. Then it's however long it films the movie. And he's got to train throughout that movie. It's the same with Henry Cavill for Man of Steel.
Yeah.
He had to maintain that physique almost the entire time he was filming. It wasn't like you got the shirtless scene, then you put the suit on, then you can just relax, pal. It wasn't like that. So it's the same with him. Ah, shite.
Oh, premature there, buddy.
Oh. But anyway, so just the amount of training. Mm-hmm. So it's training, diet.
Yep.
Right? Like, and it's super strict. Like, there's nothing. You know, and he's not, like, he's a weird guy because he's training for strength and for appearance. But it's like, you could just train for appearance. Like, you don't really have to go that nuts. But he's like, no, I gotta go nuts because I gotta do this character justice. So I feel for him. Yeah. I understand that he got to a point where he's like, I just don't feel that I can do it justice, right? So for him to do another movie, I feel like it would be kind of like Daniel Craig in the latest James Bond movie. It's taken forever because the shit he went through in Spectre, he's not getting any younger, right? Yeah. So now, because they had to push back filming because he injured himself again, right? And so, I don't care what anybody says. This has to be his last James Bond movie.
Oh, it will be. Because we were talking about this.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I first watched this movie, I I didn't watch it in the theaters.
You missed Logan in the theater?
Yeah. I didn't want to say goodbye, to be honest with you.
Oh.
I did not want to say goodbye, and I didn't think it was going to affect me as much until I started actually watching the movie. And like I said, like right away, and just because I feel like the only way the character story ends is with his death, doesn't mean I want to see it.
Yeah.
You know? Doesn't mean I want to see it. Even if it's the most heroic way possible, he could save the entire universe by unsnapping with the gauntlet that he somehow got for no reason. I'd still be like, yeah, but that's... You know what I mean? Like, we talked about it. 17 years of the fucking Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Yep.
But that's... What? 30 years? No. What was I? 10 when I read my first X-Men comic? 8 to 10. Somewhere around there. 8 to 10.
That'd be right.
92?
91 was X-Men #1.
I thought it was 92.
90, I think it was 91.
Okay, anyway, 91. So 91, that's 28 years.
That's,
yeah. Yeah, so I'm like 8 years old. I'm 8 years old reading X-Men 1 for the first time ever. That I owned. I've read X-Men comics prior to that.
Yeah.
But what I owned, physically in my hands. And I had the Wolverine Cyclops cover. So you had, like, Wolverine, brown and tan, like this, like classic Jim Lee pose.
Yeah.
You got Cyclops just about to fire. No, he's firing off, actually.
He's firing.
That's right.
I had the gatefold.
You had the triple one?
The one that flipped right out. And you got
I ended up getting that one later.
Yeah.
I ended up getting that one later.
But it had different coloring, and I kind of like the pink coloring on the individuals more than the green of the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Remember those cards? The whole run was done by Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And that the last sequence was the Danger Room sequence.
Yeah.
And you had all of them. Getting back to Wolverine, and primarily Logan.
Yep.
From start to finish, this is a beautiful movie.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's beautifully shot. I love...
In fact, this comes with a black and white copy. I want to rewatch it in black and white.
I know, I haven't done that yet either.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I haven't done it yet, but... So, I actually love the fact that it's... large chunks of this is shot in the desert, which I thought was, like... It's one of those... It actually... it lends to the isolation that Wolverine is feeling.
Yep.
It also lends to the loneliness that he's feeling.
It's very different because every Wolverine movie and X-Men movie with Wolverine has been northern wilderness.
Yes.
So to see him in, like, desert Mexico.
Exactly.
Like,
with, like, next to no life around him except for Charles Xavier.
Yeah, and Caliban.
Yeah. Excellently cast, like Stephen Marchand.
Or
Merchant, or whatever.
He was so good. So even though I still feel like, why Caliban?
I agree, but it's the mutant tracking. So like, his inclusion makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking of, I saw it, at first I was like, Caliban. Because like he wasn't really a big character back in the day.
No.
I was familiar with him.
Yeah.
But if you would have said, hey, what's his powers? I'd have been like, I don't know, he's fucking white. And then when I Wikipedia'd it,
he's white.
Like, pale white. Yeah. And I Wikipedia'd it, and I was like, oh, he can track any mutant anywhere. That's actually kind of cool. So then, of course, I was like, that makes sense that he'd be
makes sense.
Movie, you know?
Sense.
Of course.
Absolutely makes sense.
You know? I also like the fact that it's set so far into the future from the other movies, and yet there's really not a lot of, like, futuristic tech.
Yeah, what is it, 2027 this takes place in or something like that?
Yeah.
There's not, like, the cars look a little more futuristic, but that's it.
Yeah, even the fact that he was a fucking limo driver.
Yeah.
I thought was, like, a weird take. But it did mean he was in a suit for most of the movie. Looked pretty sweet in that.
He did.
But even just the fact that they grayed him up, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
You know? And I know, like, every year that the hair got more tame and tame, but this one, it was the one where I was like, this actually looks really cool. Like, even when he's getting his ass kicked at the beginning of the movie, like, he still really pulls it out, but it's still just like, you're like, holy fuck, he could lose. He might even die here.
Yeah, because right off the bat, he's coughing and stuff. He's being poisoned by the Animaniac.
Yeah, like, it's...
Like, you can tell from the beginning this is his final story.
It's at a point now where he's old enough where the healing factor can't work as hard as it used to. So it's eventually, even if he didn't die the way he did at the end of this movie, he would have died. And I gotta say, I'm glad he died the way he did. I would have hated for it to be like him alone, like that last bit of ember from his cigar. I'd have been like, that's a horrible way for him to go.
Basically, like, once Charles is gone in the movie, he's just... His whole plan was Charles and him on a boat.
Yeah,
away from everybody.
Which I thought was one of those where I was like, that's a nice idea to have.
Mm-hmm.
We both know that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on now. But even the stuff they did with Charles was really interesting, where, like, he's got dementia.
Yeah.
So
he loses control of his power.
And that was like, holy.
And the fact that he killed over 70 people and a bunch of them were X-Men.
Yeah. Like, that part was like, because that was one thing where I was waiting for, like, how are they going to have Wolverine kill the X-Men? You know? But then to switch and have it be...
It was Charles.
Lost
control of his mind.
Lost control of his mind, and then lost control of his powers.
And now the government considers him a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, which makes sense, because they were already talking about how these are weapons of... or humans of mass destruction, or whatever the fuck... They had a term for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they basically were saying they're weapons. These are walking weapons. But yeah, so it makes crazy sense. That's another one too, where you're like, if you would have said like you're gonna have Charles die and he's also gonna be like battling dementia, and every time he loses that battle, he can kill everybody because he loses control of his powers, I'd be like, that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But then to see it, like, I forgot how much I loved the actual fight sequences in this movie. Yeah.
They're so, I mean, the gore is through the roof.
But...
Like, this is rated R, and they don't hold back any punches.
But you know what? I love the, like, X-23.
Yeah.
When we get that fight scene where she's ripping up the Reavers. But what I love, too, is, like, there's a lot of, like, she gets it. The actress gets it. Like, someone must have sat there and said, okay, hey, basically, you act like him, but you're a girl, too. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of went, okay. Because, like, you see it. There's scenes where you're just like, that's fucking Wolverine right there. And then there's scenes where you're like, yeah, she's a girl, too, right? I did like that they actually talked about the cloning.
Yeah.
And they touched upon that. I also, I liked how they de-aged her. So you skip over that NYX prostitution part. Because that is... Mm-hmm. I don't know how much they talk about it now in terms of her canon. But that was part of her canon.
I still consider her first appearance.
But I know, but I don't know if they talk about the potential prostitution thing.
I don't think so.
I'm almost certain they don't reference it at all.
I had that whole series.
Beautiful, beautiful art.
I sold it.
What is it, Adolfo?
No, that was Joe Quesada writing with Josh Middleton on art.
Middleton, that's right. That's the name I was
But then someone else took over the last 3 issues, I think, because Middleton couldn't keep up with schedules.
Wow. That art was incredible.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like you watch this movie with a whole bunch of dread, and nothing makes it any easier. Because, like, it's down to the 2 final X-Men and Caliban. And even Caliban, you're like, fuck, I feel bad for this guy.
Mm.
Because it's almost like he's the other one in an abusive relationship type of thing. Like, you know, you kind of feel for him in that regard. You feel for X-23 immediately, you know. The Reavers looked incredible, and I liked how there was not one redeemable person in the bunch.
No.
You know what I mean?
This is a very dark and grim film. Like, there's no lighthearted stuff like the first 2 Wolverine movies.
No, but what I'm getting at is I like that they didn't try to make any of the Reavers some sort of sympathetic in some way, shape, or form. They just left it like...
No, you hate these guys, and that's it.
Yeah, like, and especially because they're part of that whole thing that spawned X-23 and was X-24?
X-24, yeah.
Which I gotta say, like, because they don't ever show anything in the marketing. So when he showed up, and it's a younger Hugh Jackman, or a de-aged CGI Hugh Jackman, but the fact that they had X-24 there, I was like, holy fuck. Holy fuck.
He kills Patrick Stewart. Right when he's like giving his heart and thinks he's talking to Logan.
He thinks he's saying like this to Logan, and then it's just like, And I was like, oh shit, it's not even him. And then he gets gutted, and you're like, holy shit. Yeah. But again, before I get too far off there, it's the fight sequences, right? So the fight sequence with X-23 in the desert, amazing. Absolutely incredible. And a great way to establish her right away, right?
The way that she plays off of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, like he's just boom, 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 and she's flipping, doing acrobatics all around him.
Yeah. But then also the way she plays off of with Professor X is also really cool too. But then one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, and again, like I said, like I forgot how much I really loved the way this was shot, was the scene in the hotel room where Logan's off trying to get I can't remember what the fuck he was trying to get. He was trying to get some.
He was getting a truck.
That's right. He was getting a truck.
Rid of the limo.
And dementia hits, and now he's got to get through this hotel room, fighting all these Reavers in like that crazy slow-mo, and he's just fighting through this horrible
and none of them can move, but they can like go like they're looking with their eyes like
exactly. And he's got to get all the way through them to get to Professor X to give him the shot.
Yeah,
I was like, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. But again, it's another one of those things where like you solidify that this is a guy that's not going to stop. He's going to keep going. I mean, and that scene looked incredible. Like, yeah, like, I mean, you're just seeing him, and they see Wolverine, like, very slowly, and you're just like...
He's popping his claws through all their heads. Like, like it's brutal.
It is so brutal, but again, for a guy like him at the end of his rope, he ain't gonna fucking... No. I'll save you for later. You can walk this one off. No, he's like, this is it. No. Like, fuck it. So, that was incredible. And normally, like, when you get to, like, high points like that, and then... Because I remember, like, in Origins, and they go to the old man and the woman, and I remember just being like, when they introduced the family later on, I was like, this is not going to end well. But it was that perfect break in between. It was
that little breather moment. Yeah.
You know? Where, again, like, because you introduce the Doctor now, who's the head of everything, and you're like, oh, fuck, I hate you because you're a prick in every movie.
Yeah.
A great actor.
Yeah.
You know?
It's Richard Grant, Hugh Grant's brother.
Yeah. Which I never knew. I just learned now.
Pretty sure they're brothers.
Even still.
Yeah. I mean, they look alike when you think about it.
They do kind of look alike. He is the better looking dude.
He's got the boyish looks.
Suave.
Yes.
Debonair. But anyway, and like even at that point, so we've introduced the Reavers. We tie the Reavers to her. They're tracking her down. We also tie the Reavers into the scientist guy. Like, we tie it all together. We tie X-24 into all of this. And I also love that she's got X-Men comics in her bag.
Right?
You know?
And the whole Eden thing is based off a location in one of the X-Men
in one of the books, and he's just like Wolverine's like, are you fucking for real?
Yeah.
This shit's fake.
Yeah. This isn't real. This isn't how
None
this
of this
happens.
is real, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit. And then they find Eden. It actually was real, and it's a bunch of kids just like her. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. And he's at a point now where he's like, okay, like, I can leave you here. Like, I can go and die on my own type of thing. But you still get that last fucking battle, which is fucking so great. But that's the part where I start going like, I don't want this.
Here it comes. And he goes full berserker mode, too. He like, hits that needle, and she's running, and then she hears that in the distance, and she knows he's coming.
Oh my god! And then the whole fucking fight scene, the whole last sequence is incredible. Mm-hmm. But again, like I said, so you get the thing with the family, and get that whole thing, and then everything ramps up because of X-24. Then you get to Eden, and that whole thing again, it's just a little bit more of that, like, okay, we can breathe kind of thing.
The kids shave him. And they're laughing, and he wakes up, and he's like, this isn't funny. There's a little bit of lighthearted there.
And it's a perfect part, too. It was a perfect part because it's not out of character, because these kids are kids, right?
They're innocent. Yeah,
so why, what is he going to do? Kill them? Yeah. You know, it's Wolverine of the X-Men. He ain't going to kill them. They know that. But then, like, that whole thing, and just that last part there, because he's doing this to keep him going.
Yeah, because the Adamantium's stopping him. Like, he's on the verge of dying now.
So he's got to do this for now, and then finally, like, that's it. It's that last kick, and then they do that fucking beautiful burial scene with the toys. I thought that was like, oh man, what a great way to reference that kind of shit.
And then before she walks away, she takes the cross, pushes it down to an X.
Which normally I would have been like, okay, guys, but that part I was like, yes.
But she knew he was an X-Men for the comics and everything.
It had to be. It had to be done that way. It didn't, because again, this isn't a religious character.
No.
But you can't tell me he didn't revere his time as an X-Man. So yeah, any other movie I would have been like, fuck off, guys. Like I said, at Origins, he does the whole thing at the door, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's an axe, okay?
Yeah.
But that grave scene was.
That was perfect. It makes me tear every time too.
Perfect way to end it, and that's probably, and that's actually the reason why I don't watch this movie too often. It's an amazing movie.
It's a masterpiece. This is.
It's one of the best.
I love X2 Days of Future Past, but
it's one of the best X-Men movies. Period. I can't say it's an X-Men movie. I can't say that.
I mean, it is though.
Yeah, it's got X-Men elements.
It's an X-Men movie.
It's got
Charles
X-Men
is
elements.
in there.
Okay.
They talk about the X-Men dying
in
Winchester.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Charles was in there. Did you not catch that part?
I did. Yeah. Was Magneto in it?
No, he wasn't in it.
No. Was any other established X-villains in it?
X-villains? No.
Then it's not an X-Men movie.
It is an X-Men movie. Apparently, they pitched Liev Schreiber to return for one scene, but he couldn't work around his Ray Donovan schedule. That TV show he does.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Which really blows. Because it was supposed to just be some small thing when they were in the casino town. It's
the same problem I have with the Shazam cameo, because it's like, I can't work around my Witcher schedule. And it's like...
You'd be flying in, shooting for 2 hours, flying out.
Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
You literally walk in and go, hey, it's my buddy, whatever the fuck, Freddy. Yeah. Hey, Freddy.
Yeah.
Shazam, you're cool too.
Yeah.
That's it.
Out.
It's like, oh, hey, I'm really good friends with Freddy, and look who I brought, my buddy Superman. And then you just like, you can do a nerdy wave, and then that's it. I was so mad. I was so mad when I saw that. I was like, are you fucking for real? He should not even have, I shouldn't even have seen that.
Yeah, I know. It kind of bugged me too.
It pissed me off. It's fucking stupid.
But when he goes to get the truck, that was supposed to be from Sabretooth. He was supposed to go see Sabretooth while he was in the town.
That would have been cool.
And then said bye.
That would have been cool.
And that was supposed to be the goodbye to Sabretooth.
That would have been really cool. You couldn't fucking work 3 hours out of your day.
Yeah. For that one simple goodbye between the two of them. I would have been so stoked to see him in this.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a masterpiece. It's amazing. X-24 was awesome. But I still feel like I would have preferred another actual established villain over X-24. Like, to see Hugh versus Hugh was cool, but if it would have been Omega Red that walked out of there. Or
the only problem though I have, believe me.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah. Or even Sabretooth.
A huge Omega Red fan. I would have loved to have seen Sabretooth. I think it's because we're also talking about a rated R superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sure, it's on the backs of Deadpool, but still.
Yeah.
If you introduce a character like Omega Red, it's almost too much. Okay? You have X-23, so you establish that they're cloning Wolverine specifically, but other heroes or whatever. So then when you introduce X-24, it's just, well, look what we did, right? So that's easy. General fans of, movie fans will go, oh, yeah, okay, started off here. Yep. Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
But if you go, well, this is the Russian version of the Weapon X program, then you might have people going, Weapon X program? Was I supposed to watch the other two movies? I didn't watch any of the other movies. Yeah. Is that what made Wolverine? Okay, that's what made Wolverine. Okay, so then the Russians came up with their own version, and they made this guy Omega Red. Okay. And I don't think it also has the same impact as having older Hugh Jackman fighting younger Hugh Jackman. Mm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And also, who do you think could actually kill Wolverine? A guy you just introduced as a Russian equivalent to him with weird tentacles.
Or a younger version.
Which you called Omega Red, but people are going to go, isn't he Dr. Octopus? Right? You're going to go, no, he's not Dr. Octopus. No. He doesn't have any arms. 4 of them are robotic. The other 2 are hands and legs. No. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 weird tendrils, I think they're called. and he can suck the life force out of people. What, you don't understand the concept?
Mm-hmm.
No. But most people go, well, yeah, a younger cloned Wolverine would kill an older dying Wolverine. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Especially because there's no good in him. He's just, no, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to kill anybody. Mm-hmm. You told me to kill him, he's dead. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You get that?
Mm-hmm.
You got that?
I got it. It's just hard to say goodbye, I guess.
It is.
Because I still wanted to see so many more characters.
You know what?
You know what? And
the other part, too, though, is this kind of movie doesn't lend itself for too many characters.
No. Caliban. I was like, I get the tracking, but I was like, Caliban. All the fucking X-Men or mutants you could introduce for the last time.
Especially because Caliban in the comic books, he's actually, I think maybe it's just because it's a comic book thing, but he's actually, like...
He's huge.
He's jacked, he's got, like, fucking...
He's ginormous.
You know? He's not, like, this 8-foot tall, but skinny, like...
Yeah.
Almost skeletal.
Yeah.
You know? But, I fucking fell for him, though. Like, they're, like...
Oh, burning him?
Oh, my God! I was like, God, Jesus Christ.
And then he has that little bit of redemption with the grenades.
Well, it's not even a redemption because, like, he can't help it. Like, that's the part that I feel the worst about it. It's like, he can't help it. He knows he can't help it. He feels guilty nonetheless because I would too. I'd be literally like, I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything other than rat you fuckers out.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone would be like, it's okay, we get it. But I'd still be like, no, you gotta kill me. Because I'm gonna kill you because of what I can do. Right? But yeah, the redemption, I don't say redemption, but it was just one of those, like, the last little, like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, stick it to them, right?
And the music is so good in this movie.
It has to be.
It's got that western feel at the beginning during all the desert stuff, and then kind of like it gets a little more epic like at the end.
Oh God!
And then the piano, like just piano coming in, like it's just.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
It's incredible. A classy film.
Yes.
It's a really, really well done, classy. It's not flashy like the rest of the X-Men movies. It's just
no, not at all. And also, it's not rated R. It's not saying we're rated R, so this is what we're doing. Like Deadpool was literally like, look at all the shit we're doing because we're rated R, right? Mm-hmm. They just sat there and said, okay, but like
we're gonna tell a story without restraints.
Yeah, we don't want to be like cut down by like we actually want to show the gore and the blood and stuff because it's all there for a reason.
We're not going to have Wolverine visit a strip club just because it's restricted.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, or just have like a 40-minute like orgy scene. Mm-hmm. You know, you're right. Classy is a really good word for this. It's a very classy send off.
Yeah. To
an incredible character, which was made even cooler by Hugh Jackman.
And you got a Guinness World Record for this, for playing one character the longest of anyone.
That's right, eh?
17 years?
17 years. And that's 6, 7, 8. 8 movies?
6. 7.
First Class.
Yeah, the appearance in First Class. Appearance in that. Yeah, Days of Future Past.
Oh, I forgot about Days of Future Past.
The original trilogy. Right. So 9.
9, that's right. 9. That's 9. Yeah.
Yeah, because the only one he didn't.
Did he do the voice for that game?
Yep.
So 10 technically.
Yeah, I guess you could say.
I'll say 10 because you lend your voice to the character in the game, but he only did that one. He didn't do the
mocap too.
So to recap, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't want to say
perfect 5 out of 5.
I hesitate to refer to this as a superhero movie though, because it's.
I mean, it's tough.
It is tough because it's like...
Because the Wolverine isn't really a superhero movie either.
No. But I mean, I'm not saying that his movies should be superhero movies. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like the best comic books about Wolverine, for the most part, aren't really him being a superhero.
Correct. I'm done with Logan. Logan is a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, prepare to be very sad by the end.
Yeah, because, he dies.
He dies. It's not a feel-good movie. At all.
I will say, though, that the ending is bittersweet because while he does die...
He lives on through his daughter.
He leaves a legacy, you know, and yes, through his daughter. And I like that actually towards the end, even though he knows he's dying, he's starting to look at her like his daughter. Yeah. This isn't just a clone of him. No. This is his daughter.
When he was dying, her arms, and she's going, Daddy.
I know. I was like, are you kidding me? Don't say that shit. Don't say that shit. What is wrong with you? Why would you say that shit?
Daphne Keane is amazing. This is her first movie. The worst part, honestly, the worst part about Disney buying Fox is that we can't see her continue as
No! Although I don't know why. Why would they recast? They don't need to.
They will.
I know.
And we had the option, like, right there, like, with Cable and Deadpool, he could time hop. He could easily bring X-23 to the whatever timeline.
Well, I mean, how old is she now?
How old was she 15? In this? She's got to be around 15 now.
Why can't they just cast her?
I don't know. She was so good.
Because, I mean, to be fair, she's not going to look exactly the same. So she'll look a little bit different.
Yeah, she'll look older.
And not only that, Disney would get fucking huge points for doing that. Mm-hmm. Instead of just being like, we have to do everything brand new.
Yeah. But, anyways, I think
Thank
we might have...
once again for joining us on the Geek Pants Camcast.